that auntie that comes bearing gifts every time. And you know what? I am bearing gifts. I'm trying to save you some money. Okay, so starting off, in my bag, I have some flour, an essential in any pantry. You could do so much. Bake, roux, sauces, thickeners, the list goes on. Eggs, I know they're a little pricey, but you need them, okay? And it's a great source of protein. And for today, I've got some puff pastry because we're making a little young pie. And then my protein, we already know that Lorna loves to bulk buy and put things into little sections. So that's already sorted. I have my favorite. You've seen this so many times on my social media pages. I eat a lot of noodles. I love noodles. Kids love noodles. They're easy to make. Quick 30 minutes. Bob's your uncle. Lorna's your aunt. And at this point, my love bugs, let's get cooking. So I'm going to be making a peppered mince pie inspired by a peppered steak. Steak is a little pricey, but mince goes a long way. And hopefully you'll add this to your weekly staples and they'll become a family favorite. But let's get cooking. I'm going to start off by caramelizing some onions. Olive oil goes in, a little onion. And you heard it. I didn't have to say it. It's that sizzle. I honestly need to IP that because I feel like I'm the only person that says it in any kitchen and it kind of sounds cool. Well, at least I think, okay? All right, so once our onions have become translucent, we're going to add in some garlic. Oh, garlic smells so good. Definitely want to start planting that in my veggie garden. Now I'm gonna add in my ground mince. And then I want to break that down. Some people have that like little fancy thing to break down mince. A spatula goes a long way. And then immediately I'm gonna go in with my flavors. Barbecue spice. And we just want to cook that through until it becomes nice and brown, slightly caramelized, but not too much. Now I'm gonna go in with our regular schmegular, our vegetable stock. Don't be afraid to add tons of flavor, spices, herbs, to really elevate your dishes. I'm gonna go in with some ground pepper. It is called a peppered pie. Don't be afraid, it's okay. And then I'm gonna add in some thyme. The thyme really adds that herbaceous flavor to your mince, so I would recommend it. But generally, any herbs that you add in are great for any dish. And now for the moment that I've been waiting for. Find me a lighter, somebody. We've got some brandy, okay? If you got a bit of budget, you're gonna use cognac. But brandy works, and it'll do exactly the same thing. Tons of flavor. And if you don't drink, the alcohol actually cooks away, so you'll be okay. You still have all that flavor from the brandy. That's gonna go in. Dun 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 dun, don't burn. Woo! Come on. You could do this for a boy if you want to like show off. This is the alcohol essentially cooking off. I was just trying to hype myself because it's a fun moment in the kitchen. It is a minced peppered pie after all, right? Just because it's 30 minutes doesn't mean it doesn't have to be fun. And that brandy is also going to add a slight sweetness to the mince. I'm going to add something that's going to combine everything together, and that's cream. And that mince has crisped up as well, which is great. While that gently simmers, I'm going to just give it a little taste. It's probably so hot. I was trying to do a Michael Jackson thing, but it didn't need it. That was a Lorna-ism. That was good. All right, okay, so now for our puff pastry, I'm just gonna add some flour onto my surface. Give it a little rub-a-dub-dub. And if you're wondering if this is really going to be cooked in 30 minutes, you could actually time me. I'm not going to use that much. So cut it in half, or not half, but I'm not going to use this much. So that I'm going to set it aside and use it at a later stage. There we go. Oh, that was so satisfying, like peeling it off. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to flour both sides. And to allow our puff to cook really quickly, I'm going to have it quite thin. Make sure that you've got enough flour on your surface and on the puff so that it doesn't stick to your rolling pin. I'm going to take my ground mince and add it to our little trays. And the lovely thing is that you could serve this with like a rocket salad or something on the side. You could really just pile that mince up. Okay, so I'm gonna cut up little circles. It really does not have to be perfect. So now we've got our 3 circles. We're going to take the first one and cover like that, covering around the edges as well, because puff pastry actually shrinks as it cooks. And then the last one. And because we can, you know, want it to look pretty and fun, you could either write like a little letter, you could write like your kid's name. I'm gonna take a fork and just press everything down so that it doesn't lift up like that. And then I'm gonna repeat it with the rest of my pies. So for a little 1 egg, 1 hand action, honestly, this is the first time I've ever cracked an egg with 1 hand. I think I've made it. I've made it in this kitchen. I've made it. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a little quick whisk. Quick one, little leaves that I like to make with this because it just makes it look so pretty. And then you just score this way. It doesn't have to be perfect either. So because you want your pie to cook, and as it cooks it steams up, so you want to kind of insert a little hole in the center. Okay, and then we're going to egg wash it. Okay, not too much of that egg wash. It's gonna help it go golden brown, and it's gonna help our leaves stick to the bottom. So it acts as a glue in a way. Then we're gonna go in with our